Hello, hello, hello. Can you mofos hear me? Anyways, I want to first start off by saying I love you and thanks for listening. You're now tuned in to the Pretty Interesting Podcast. I'm going to be your host tonight, or the morning, or afternoon, whenever you're listening. Buckle up. Hey, yo, Jen, let's get it cracking.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it.
Look it up.
Hey, in this segment of Look It Up, we're going to break down a word. And that word is religion. Ion. So relig, L-I-G, ion, I-O-N. Re comes from Latin, means again, back, anew, against. Latin combining form conceivably from Indo-European ret, W-R-E-T, methodical variant, I can't pronounce that word, of wort, W-E-R-T, which means to turn. So re means to turn, right? Lig comes from Middle English liggen, L-I-G-G-E-N, from Old English lickin, L-I-C-G-A-N. It means to lie, be situated, be at rest, remain. An Old Norse ligja, L-I-G-G-J-A, means to lie. So lig means to lie. Ion, from ancient Greek, Iov, means I-O-V. You can look us all up on, you just simply look up the etymology of each what they call that? Religion. What do they call that shit? There's a word for it, fudge. All right, but you get what I'm saying. It means ion, which is going. Neuter present particle of, I can't pronounce that word, which is emi, E-I-M-I, means I go. So re means to turn, lig means to lie, ion means I go. You put it together. Religion.
Pretty interesting fact of the day.
Pretty interesting fact of the day. 12 tribes, 12 months in a year, 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness, 12 grades, 12 chakras, 12 apostles. Do you think it's all a coincidence? I love you. Just think.
Pretty quote of the day.
Pretty quote of the day. Imagine a world where the original immigrants treat the original inhabitants as immigrants. What a world. I love you. Just think.
Don't hate me segment.
Don't hate me. But if you do, you really just hate yourself because it's nothing but the truth. In today's Don't Hate Me segment, I'm going to keep it short but simple, but monumental. But let's just think about this. Beware of the white man who says that they know more about your struggle as a brown or black man than you do. Satan is their daddy, and they mean you no good. I love you. Guard your soul.
Pretty interesting podcast, episode number 10. We back.
10. This is a special one. Last week, this week, we released the docuseries, part 1, part 2, which was excellent. Go check that out. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. Just know everything I say, you can fact check me. So literally, if you get mad, you're getting mad at this or you're getting mad at facts. If I'm wrong about anything, just go to the comments and let me know that I'm wrong, and we could talk about it. I'm an open book. No pride on this side. But today I want to start off by saying a person if you're a good person, a person just simply out of shame when they do you wrong, what they do is they'll go behind your back and talk about you because they know how righteous you are. They know that you will not do the same thing. So their goal is to literally change the narrative about you before, and that's just a self-defense thing since as a person being a little kid. Is to literally talk about you before you get a chance to talk about them in order for them to spin the narrative. And this happens in adulthood. We know this. We see this all the time. No matter how good of a person you are, you'll be hated in somebody's story. Period. Point blank. You know, again, like, you know, I got people who claim that I'm guess crazy, but I'm only crazy because I know information that they don't know. So people call people crazy
to dismiss them.
It's that simple. Instead of actually confronting the facts because of their sloth intellectually. That's what it is. It's sloth intellectually. Instead of actually going to look the stuff up, it's out. That guy's crazy. But at the end of the day, when this stuff that I've been talking about, it occurs. You can go look back at, 4 or 5 years ago when I was talking about Kanye West and I was talking about Trump.
Jesus.
I was talking about these guys 4 years ago. I was prophesying today. Literally, Trump is a crook. Point blank, period. He's a criminal. He keeps getting caught over and over again.
Teflon Don.
Man, think about this. If he was a black guy, they would have already stormed the White House and cut his head off. This is a fact. Literally. Our country's in debt even more. I mean, yeah, he just killed Baghdadi, but Baghdadi, I apologize if I fucked up his name. Fuck him, because he's nothing but a CIA agent anyway, right? Him and Tim Osman, a.k.a. Osama bin Laden. Look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up. These guys work for the CIA. These are things that are just facts now.
Is that factual or what?
Look it up. Tim Osman, Osama bin Laden. The guy had would you consider education Western, like London, England, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
He had a Western education. Raised here, CIA money.
Wait, that's his real government name?
Look up Tim Osman. Look it up right now.
You better not be lying to me, Big Pretty, because Google is my friend.
Look it up. Look it up. Tim Osman. Tim Osman. I'm looking up right now with you. Man, and look again. There you go.
Oh, you're right.
Look it up. But again, our people are they're sloth intellectually, and we're so quick to believe what they tell us instead of doing our own research and instead of listening. Look. If I was a white guy, period. If I was a white guy telling you the same information, I would not be filming this podcast in my living room. I would have some studio, you know what I'm saying? I'd be on some level with what's the guy who goes around groping women, that gives up motivational speeches? The real famous guy. You know who I'm talking about? He you guys really have to, just pick yourself up. It's all that prosperity preaching. The white guy. I always forget his name. Motivational. You know what I'm talking about. I know you.
I'm forgetting his name.
Oh my goodness.
But I know who you're talking
about. He's the
about.
biggest one. Big, tall dude. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ducks like that.
Yeah.
Look him up. Look him up right quick. Whatever. Fuck that guy. All right, I know
He doesn't deserve no
he
shine.
doesn't. Like, you know exactly who I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right? So it's like him. He's not saying these type of facts. He's doing everything so you believe in yourself, right? And that's it. That's all. Yes, who you are is special. We have to cultivate ourselves, but at the end of the day, we have to realize something created us, right? Literally, unless you believe you came from a small ass atom, which they have not proven. It has not been proven, guys.
It's a theory.
It's a theory that has not been. They have proven everything else, but they can't prove that shit, right? Literally.
What about the article?
And I didn't come from no fucking monkey.
The article that came out like a couple of days ago, I believe I sent it to you. That they're saying that it shows that a black people has the 100% human DNA.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, but not nobody else's, but the black people.
Exactly. So that's the secret. And not just black people. We're talking about African Americans. We're talking about this. This is specific because, again, we talked about this opening the show. 12 chakras, 12 disciples, apostles, 12 hours of the day, 12 hours of the night, right? 12 months of the year. This number is 12 tribes of Israel. My question is, where are the Hebrews? Because these people are the original people. Literally.
The original man.
The original man. Right? And so, again, these are things that is in here. And these are things, if you go look at a map from 1730, look up ancient map of Africa 1730. And what you'll see is there's a lot of areas where it has, if you look previous to that, right, 1600s, 1500s, 1400s, all the ancient maps, it shows Judah and Israel, right? There's on the map. They slowly but surely took it out. But then after, in the 1730 map, there's a position in a map called Negro Land. Literally.
Negro land?
Negro Land.
It existed?
It existed. Look it up real quick. Look. He's a fact check. Ancient map. Put ancient map. 1730 Africa, Negro Land. We're gonna pause right quick because I want him to give certification.
Did you make these?
Yeah, I made the whole internet.
Oh shit! It is. It says Negro land.
Okay, so what happened?
Or Nigritia.
Nigritia.
Yeah.
These are parts. What do you think they call the American black man or what? A Negro. These were our properties back then. This is where they came and got us because after we got expelled from Jerusalem, we set up our own kingdoms. Other places.
I just thought that Negro came from the Spanish word means
Black. Exactly. So, but that's what they called us.
So you're saying it's not.
That's also a thing. But remember,
Okay.
we were also that's just one of the, how do I say this? Latin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Latin.
The Latin language.
Latin language was really big at that time because that's when the Catholic Church really started taking a hold ever since, after the death of Yeshua. So what I really want to start talking about is, I know I'm jumping around, but today I have so much on my mind because there's so much wickedness going on in our world right now.
Let it out, man.
So number one is when we look at a map. Okay, go look at a map, brother. So if you look at just a regular map, right? I'm gonna put this to the side. Hopefully you can see it. All right. The first day of the week is what?
Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. So I think in 300 something AD, whenever Constantine was around, he changed the day of the Sabbath from the eve of Friday. It went to the eve of Friday to the eve of Saturday. That was the Sabbath day. Remember, days are from night to night. It's not how we got set up mindset days now. He changed it to Sunday in order to appease the pagan god Ra, the sun god. So Catholicism, if you can walk in a Catholic church today, what do? They idol. There's idols everywhere. That's not supposed to, a church is not supposed to be that way. Period. But they broke all the laws because of the simple fact that they mixed the religion that they created, mixed spirituality with what? Mysticism and paganism. Period. You literally have the Pope coming out today. Well, this is a quote from the Pope. I'm just going to say a quote from the Pope. So you Catholics, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the damn Pope. Okay? He said, I had it. When we read about creation in Genesis, we run the risk of imagining God was a magician with a magic wand able to do everything, but that is not so. He created human beings and let them develop according to the eternal laws that he gave to each one so they would reach their fulfillment. That's freaking blasphemy. Is God not able to do anything? I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
He could do everything, man.
Is this mere man, the Pope, going to sit here and tell the world that the powers of God are restricted?
No, it's not.
That Genesis is lying? The book of Genesis is lying? This is blasphemy. Go look up the quote yourself. Please. But these guys, remember one thing. The truth hurts. And what he just said is not hurting nobody. So Satan is his daddy. Period. I'll give you another quote by the Pope. If someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and has goodwill, who am I to judge? According to the Bible, if you're a man in the spirit, you have every right to judge. Every right to judge. Right? We judge everything. There's a freaking book of Judges. The book Judges. We can judge if we're in the spirit. In fact, I'm gonna get that for you, just so you judge in the spirit verse. So 1 Corinthians 2:15. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged by no man. So the supposed most spiritual man on planet Earth says that he can't judge anybody? Satan is his daddy. I'm sorry, Catholics out there, but y'all got to wake up. This is not contextual, biblical, what he is saying. It's literally, it's a twofold thing. He's approving homosexuality, which means he's of the world, because that's surely not in the spirit, because that's against the Bible. And number two, he's saying he can't judge, and he's supposed to be the most spiritual man walking. Him, the Dalai Lama, all them dudes. They're supposed to be the most spiritual people walking this earth. It's a lie. Let church, this is another quote by him. Let the church always be a place of mercy and hope where everyone is welcome and loved and forgiven. That's not biblical. Let's see. It says the path to heaven is narrow. Everybody ain't getting in, man. King James Version.
You're not gonna make it, people.
It's crazy. All this stuff is literally in the Bible. But again, why did the Catholic take away people's ability to read? right? In previous generations. Slavery did it too to the slaves. They did that in order so it took away the habit of our people reading the Bible. Took it away.
That's deep.
Took it away, literally. So now we don't read. Now we just believe these men for everything that they say, take it at face value without doing our own research. Remember, the Bible is our schoolmaster. We're supposed to go here for everything. We got to go here first. Then whatever they say, you got to come here because you got to, it's your soul on the line. Matthew 7:13-14. Enter ye in the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there which go in thereat, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way. That means everybody ain't making it. Period. Which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Everybody ain't making it.
Nope.
So what is this worldly doctrine this man is preaching? It's heresy. But again, he won't say nothing. If that was a black guy up there saying this, everybody be fact checking. Hey, that's in the Bible. No. The same thing about when it comes to guns. If you want to change the gun laws, what do? Start having Negroes go up there buying all the guns up. There'd be so many restrictions on the gun in no time.
See how quickly they demonize having guns.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing. You think Obama could have got away with half the stuff, half the scandals that Trump has got away with?
Hell no.
Period.
No way.
And Obama is not even a black man. He's a Hamite. He's an African. That's not, like I said this before in previous episodes. Even an African would tell you they're not black. But he played along in order to get in that position. They used people. The man is literally related to 6 U.S. presidents. He has the royal blood in him. He was used. He's a pawn. Our people got to wake up to this information, man. Because it's out there. Easy, simple. So, you got any questions? I know, bro. I know. You know me, man. I be pop. You know what I'm saying?
For the 99th time. Shout out Obama, my favorite president ever.
Yeah, man. That's because you didn't know about him before. That man came in there and legalized everything that had nothing to do with black people.
Hey, leave that man alone, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like black people, he didn't help. He made it worse. He made it so that homosexuals literally surpassed black people. We're talking about 1% of the population. They say 1 to 3%. Who has more rights now? Be honest. This is just in general. This is your opinion, right? This is not no sex. You're not being a homophobe. I'll take that brunt if they want to come at me, right? But this is just your opinion as a human being. Who has more rights? A homosexual or a black man in America?
Is it fair to say homosexual?
Come on, it's simple. Less of the population, but they have more rights. How? And we could test that right now. Well, I don't want to test it, but if imagine the public sympathy for a gay man or gay woman being beat up while motherfuckers was calling out faggot the whole time, beating them up. That would be a hate crime on every single channel, and that person will get life in prison, if not get hanged that night. Period. But a white person can go in your house, kill you while you sitting there eating Cheerios, and they get off. Literally.
And being a police officer.
And being a police officer. And literally, she might not even see no prison because they're appealing it.
10 years, sir. But she could get out early.
It's not just to get out early. She might not have to stay in there long at all because they're appealing it. They're trying to keep it quiet. Go look it up. Amber Geiger is appealing the case. And she'll probably win. But again, man, that's segment 1. I gotta. This is crazy, man. But the next segment, we're gonna talk about the Nation of Islam and what they have not been doing for our community. Pretty out. See you guys in a few.
Go get some merch. Go get it at bigpretty.world. Bigpretty.world. Go get your merch now. Yes, right now. Go get it. Bigpretty.world. Bigpretty.world.
Episode number 10, part 2.
Part 2. This is
We are
crazy.
back.
Episode 10. This is monumental, man.
Let that sink in.
You know what I'm
Episode
saying?
10.
Number 10, man. I want to start off by saying white guilt equals shame. A lot of evil deeds are allowed and done out of shame instead of facing the problem. Right? Since the 60s, 50s, 40s, and before that, we've known what the problem has been. Why are we still talking about the problem in 2019? It has obviously not been solved. At least not to the completion of the people who have been enslaved, brainwashed, PTSD, all kinds of shit. If these people are still complaining, obviously, number one is we have to realize we're still enslaved, period. If you're paying money to taxes to an occupying force while their elites pay zero taxes, little if none, as Trump, as Amazon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If their elites are not paying taxes, that makes you a what? That makes you a slave. All of us are slaves. Doesn't matter what color skin you are. Literally. Okay? So we have to start understanding this. And remember, the elites will enslave their own. They don't give a fudge. They don't. But remember, there's a class system. We might not want to admit it, but there's a class system in America. And we all know who's at the bottom of that class system. People don't like to hear what I have to say because I'm this color. Period. Shut up, nigger. Just go on about your day. Just pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You know how much I used to hear that growing up? Motherfuckers told me the college graduate got their education, the athlete, you know what I'm saying, that beat all the odds and tell this motherfucker's working at Walmart telling me to pick myself up by the bootstraps. You think he would tell anybody else that didn't look like me that same information? Think he would tell me that? No. Why does he even have the audacity? That's the question. Because there's a fucking class system. And they have this veil over people's eyes. Period. And we're in a capitalist society. What was the first item traded in this capitalist society? What was the first item of this capitalist society? It's simple. We know.
I'm going to let you answer it.
Right? These are questions and things people don't want. Our system was built off of who? Brown and black people. I'll take that group of niggers over there. I'll take them. I'll give you 10 for $5. No, you see that nigger? He has a limp. Matter of fact, I'll give you 4. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get the big one.
You know what I'm saying? Literally. And they used to call us a what? A gang. Where do these words come from? They programmed them into us. Red and blue. This not Crips and Bloods, Norteños, Serranos. What else is red or blue? Democrat, Republican. It's all set up, man. But we have to wake up and understand. the blue shield. Right? Red, white, and blue. That's biblical. Right? Our people, man, we got to wake up because they put everything in front of our face. Literally.
Hold on. Before we forget, man. So I heard that you were loving jamming into your favorite musician, Kanye West.
Oh my goodness.
His latest album. I heard, man.
Oh my goodness, you lying. you lying, bro. You lying.
I was told that you loved the whole album from first song to the last
Oh my
song.
goodness, bro. Get out of here, man. That whole album is blasphemous.
Please explain yourself or your position on that.
Number one is look this up. The Book of Yeezus. Okay? That's really, really important that you go look this up. The Book of Yeezus. Any man who writes a Bible about himself with himself on the front, it's just not you're not aware of it yet. You're gonna go look it up now and be aware of this. There's a book. If he's creating and changing words of the Bible, that's blasphemy. That's heresy. Right? And we can prove that biblically once again, because you have all kinds of Christians talking about, I'm out here, Sunday service. We already explained that church is not supposed to be on Sundays. That's blasphemy in itself and heresy, because once you figure it out, you're supposed to change your ways.
If anything, you should have called it Saturday service.
He feels he don't know about he's not like I think I asked you this question earlier. So besides Yeshua and God, who gave the word, maybe the 12 disciples, who knows the Bible the best?
Also, aside from Israelites, right?
Yes, who knows the Bible the best?
Lucifer.
Satan. That's how he tried to tempt Yeshua, using Bible verses.
Wait, hold on, man. So you're saying that Kanye West is being blasphemous?
Yes, the book.
He's using Bible verses on his songs.
I know.
I'm being sarcastic.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how you get them. What does a preacher do today if you go to a black church? I don't know if you've been there. You been to a black church before?
I've been once when I used to live in LA. That was a really long.
But they'll tell you how many verses. 1, 2, 3 verses. Mm-hmm. And the rest of it, he says he's speaking from his spirit. Right? So he's not putting together the verses, verse to verse to verse, line by line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. He's not putting together verses to string them together. Right? Not at all. He's just giving you one verse, speaking 30 minutes, 45 minutes, wasting time. Go back to another verse, boom, boom, boom. You get what I'm saying? When biblically it says in Ezekiel 38 or 39 that he literally hid his face.
He hid his face to us, right?
To us. So how are people seeing him right now? Like this is just biblical, and we're living in the day and age of Ezekiel, Gog and Magog. Look that up. We're living in the days of Ezekiel right now. Go look up Ezekiel. Read Ezekiel 36 through 38. And you see all the people right now when you start breaking down who the people are in the Bible, because there's 18 nations in the Bible. And we have to get to understand who our people are in the root. They made it a color thing. It's not a color thing. Right? This is a nation thing. Right? You have Edomites, Phoenicians, Ishmaelites, Israelites. You get what I'm saying? You have all Assyrians. You have all these different kingdoms, all these different original tribes. 18 of them. Figure out where you come from. Because then when you read the Bible, then you understand where your place is. This is what they don't want you to do. This is why they create Mexican, Brazilian, all these things. And who created these names? We know who created these names. The white man. The Edomite man. The man of Japheth.
Isn't it crazy that the history has always been dependent on who won the war.
That's it. That's all. Just like imagine Hitler would have won.
Then he would have the power to recreate or rewrite history in
Himself.
his own vision,
His own vision. And
his own
everybody
narrative.
everybody after him will be doing what? Upholding his narrative.
Because he's the one that survived.
Exactly. So think about that. So half of these, we got to be honest. Half of these white people will be saying, "Hail Hitler" to today if he would have won. Right? Black people, the fake Jews, all them, they'll be saying, "Fuck this guy."
Someone said that for someone to what do you call it, to celebrate Columbus's Day is like someone saying, "Oh, we should celebrate a Hitler's Day."
But they do. They do celebrate Hitler's Day.
They do?
They slick about it.
Oh shit.
Oh man, you know me. I'm like Wikipedia, man. So, what day is Hitler's Day? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Do you know Hitler's birthday?
Nope.
420.
Oh damn. So they getting high than the muff.
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. I want you to confirm this. But
So they're celebrating without even knowing.
what people don't even know they're celebrating it. And before he confirms this, I want to read this thing about the book of Jesus. It says in Revelations 22:18-19, "For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book." 19, "And if any man shall take away words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book." Period. So you're following a guy who is soulless. They've literally been setting him up for time since the beginning. They're trying to get people away from Jesus, which that's what they call him in the book, right? He has Emmanuel, Yeshua, what more names, right? It's Hebrew names. I don't want to give too much away. Instead of serving him, now what are people doing? They're serving Kanye West. It's funny, but it's not funny. So let's go back to the information. What day is 420?
Hitler's birthday.
Come on, man.
Look it up.
Look it up. That's pretty interesting, man. That's literally pretty interesting. Why don't they tell people that? That's huge information. Huge. Why do they tell people that? You think they don't know that? Come on, man. We can't be that stupid. You think they don't know that's his birthday? Right? The same thing, right? As smoking weed and celebrating on that day without knowing it, right? And you have people who sit back like me, a real Jew, and I'm sitting back, man, fuck this day. It's the same thing with my brothers, the quote unquote the quote unquote American Indians on Thanksgiving. What are they doing? Fuck this day. It's literally a slap in the face. We have to stop this shit, man. Educate yourselves. You can get mad at me all you want to. If you get mad at me, it's literally because you feel inadequate for not knowing. And you got a black man telling you. So you're pissed. How come I didn't know that? Open up a book and read. Simple. Okay? Any more questions?
You mentioned earlier you want to talk about the greatest president of all time, the Teflon Donald Trump.
This guy right here, bro. This guy, man. You hear this?
Yeah, you have something.
You guys hear this? You guys hear this? He literally said that
So what's up with him?
he's a felon. He's a guy who is the embodiment of white privilege. We won. I can do whatever the fudge I want to do.
Do you believe that announcing that they killed the Baghdadi guy
It's all part of the plan.
is a distraction?
Obviously, there's nothing but distractions. When he says things like, they're trying to lynch me, distraction.
I feel like he's trying to do what Obama did.
What's that?
When he was going out, like they pretty much got the Osama,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So again, Tim Osman, this is not you heard it here first. In the future, you're going to hear about these guys sipping Mai Tais on a private beach somewhere off the shores of Tahiti or something together. Right? Like, I want to see a dead body, homie.
So you just simply don't believe it.
I believe two things. It could be one or two things. Either they killed him because they turned their back on him. Because remember, this world needs division. War is needed. Remember, we created ISIS. Period. That's a fact now. We created ISIS. They walking around with our guns, talking about Al Akbar with our guns and Russians' guns, right? The Kalashnikovs, whatever the fuck they call those guns, right? And American tanks.
AK-47s?
American tanks killing each other, right? That's what all these guys, they got training from Americans. So, right, you can go today, and what happens is a lot of them, they'll defect. We'll train them up, and then they'll defect to the other side. They'll get our weapons and go to the other side.
So you're saying that Americans are supplying the
West
weapons.
The West.
Oh, the West. Okay.
The West. I'm talking about the allies, right? The allies, right? So, I think that what happens is they need this machine to go forward because that brings money. Period. If there's no war, there's no money. Right? That stimulates belief in the country, unity in your country. That stimulates the prison industrial complex, but also the war industrial complex. It stimulates all these things. And so we have to understand that with war comes great profit. So we always need an enemy. It's evil shit, man. Right? And again, American citizens love distractions. Love them. We don't look into anything. 9/11 happened. Fuck everything that wears a turban. You saw it yourself. I saw it. Racist. The real racism came out. Mm-hmm. And those same people today will probably tell you, don't you judge those people with the turbans? When, 2000, what year was that? 9/11, 2001, right?
2001, yeah.
Then they were racist pieces of shit. And then now we figure out that was all articulated. They could have stopped those atrocities. But they didn't. Period. They could have shot. You think they could have shot them down into the sky? Period. Sacrifice 60-some people, 90-some people, whatever it is, instead of sacrificing thousands. That's an easy decision. Supposedly for a president. It is. I can make that decision. I'm sure you could too. Right? Would you rather sacrifice 90 people or 1,000 people, however people die in those accidents? It's a hard decision, but it's a simple one at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to read one thing. I'm going to leave you guys with this. I think that everybody needs to know this. Period. I'm going to read Psalms 83, 1 through 7. And I'm going to ask a few questions. Then we're going to get the fudge out of here. Psalms 83, 1 through 7. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. That basically means make an agreement. And they that hate thee have lifted up thy head, which means that they've basically come forth. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, trickery, and consulted against thy hidden ones, the 10 lost tribes. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. You know, you see it all the time. It's called assimilation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. What's your name, boy? Kunta Kinte. Whoosh. What's your name, boy? Toby. No more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The United Nations, that's a confederacy. Everybody is represented except black people in America, right? Everybody. Aboriginals of Australia, right? That's their country. They're not represented. So they have no voice. All these people literally have no voice. They're confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites, Moab and the Hagarenes, Jebel and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. All right, we'll go to verse 8. Okay, one more. We'll go to verse 8. And verse 8 says, Assur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot, Selah, forever. This is a forever thing. So go look up Psalms 83, 1 through 8, and figure out who all these people are. Starting at verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom. With that, I'll say thank you for watching Pretty Interesting. And I love you. And have a great night, day, morning. Well, I don't care. Just have a great time. But don't have too much of a great time because you got some studying to do. Just know. I love you. And wait. Show some support. Like the page. If you have any questions, go below. Ask them. I'm an open book. Okay? I have no pride. No shame. No nothing. But be respectful. That's it. And if you want to be disrespectful, I don't care either. But just like, share, and comment. I love you. Take care.